Why does human self-interest, which often seems morally questionable, actually serve as the core engine that moves and develops society? To understand this paradox, let us travel back to 18th century Europe, a time of profound and rapid transformation. It was a period when the old feudal order was crumbling and commerce and markets were beginning to grow at an unprecedented pace. People no longer relied on their social status to determine their destiny. Instead, they began to change their lives through trade. In this era of change, a pivotal figure emerged: Adam Smith, the man who would redefine our understanding of human behavior. Smith did not look at the world through a lens of idealism. Instead, he coolly observed the actual behavior of people around him. He noticed a simple yet profound truth: people do not bake bread out of pure benevolence or kindness toward others. They bake bread to earn a profit for themselves. Yet, as a result of this self-interest, other people are able to eat. This simple fact was the starting point of his insight. He saw that society functions not through altruism, but through self-interest. At the time, this was an incredibly radical idea. Morality was traditionally believed to stem solely from selfless altruism. However, Smith chose to see the reality of the world as it was, rather than how people wished it to be. In the market, millions of people move according to their own interests and desires every single day. Yet, the result is an efficient allocation of resources, an increase in production, and the growth of society as a whole. This principle remains unchanged in modern economics. It explains how complex global systems coordinate themselves. Corporations pursue profit, but in that process, they create jobs and drive technological innovations that benefit us all. Individuals strive for a better life for themselves, yet their hard work increases the overall productivity of the entire nation. This is exactly how self-interest acts as the engine of society. It is a powerful force for progress and development. The core insight is this: self-interest can be destructive, but it becomes a productive force when placed within a structure. Adam Smith famously described this phenomenon as the invisible hand guiding the marketplace for the common good. It means that as individuals pursue their own gain, they are led to promote an end which was no part of their intention. Research from institutions like Harvard also confirms that competition and exchange foster efficiency and innovation. When individuals are free to compete, their drive for personal success naturally leads to breakthroughs that help everyone. Therefore, the issue is not self-interest itself. The real question is whether the structure allows it to work for the public good. Without rules, self-interest can turn into destructive greed, but within a proper structure, it becomes development. This is why a market requires laws and institutions to ensure that competition remains fair and transactions are honest. When fair competition is guaranteed, self-interest is transformed into social value. This is Smith's core message. Let us look at a practical example. Imagine a city with two bakeries competing for the same group of customers. One bakery might invest time and research into creating a more delicious recipe to attract more people to their shop. The other bakery might focus on efficiency, offering lower prices to win over more budget-conscious shoppers. As a result, consumers receive better quality bread at lower prices. The market has served their needs perfectly. In this entire process, neither baker acted out of a desire to help others. They both acted for their own profit. Yet, their self-interested actions led to a result that benefited the entire community. This is the beauty of the market. Consider technology companies today. They are in a constant race to innovate just to survive in a crowded global market. They work tirelessly to earn more profit, but in the process, they create services that make our lives easier and more convenient. New technologies are born from the desire to succeed. Self-interest creates competition, and competition creates progress. The core message is clear. Self-interest is not something to be removed, but something to be designed and utilized. Humans are inherently beings who pursue their own interests. This is a fundamental and inescapable part of our nature. Instead of denying this nature, we must figure out how to leverage it for the greater good of our entire society. Adam Smith never suggested that we should abandon morality. He was, in fact, a moral philosopher himself. He emphasized that we must create a world where self-interest works positively through fair rules and just institutions. This is the core principle of the market economy. When self-interest is well designed, the entire society grows stronger. If self-interest is not channeled through a structure, it can be destructive, but when properly guided, it is transformative. Ultimately, the problem is not human nature itself, but the systems and structures within which we live and work. As a viewer, you will gain 3 major changes in perspective from understanding these powerful economic concepts. First, you will come to understand self-interest not as a simple negative emotion, but as a fundamental human driver. Second, you will gain a much deeper perspective on how competition and the structure of the market actually work. Third, you will begin to think about how to connect your own pursuit of success with broader social value. Remember this, self-interest is not the start of a problem, but rather the most powerful solution when it is designed correctly. Let's be honest, nobody works for free. We all have our own needs and goals that we are working toward every day. Yet, because of that drive, we live in a better world every single day. The paradox of greed is that it creates prosperity. It is ironic, but the human desire for more is precisely what makes our world a better and more comfortable place to live. Through the humanities and the wisdom of Jong-Moon Ko, we can find even deeper insights into the human condition. We hope these insights nourish your soul and help you see the world with a new sense of clarity and purpose. If you enjoyed this exploration, please subscribe and click the like button to join our community of thinkers. May you always find deep wisdom and may good things always come your way. Thank you for being part of this journey. Let us take a moment to dive even deeper into the specific mechanics that Adam Smith described in his groundbreaking work. He saw that when barriers to trade are removed, the invisible hand can coordinate efforts across entire continents. In The Wealth of Nations, he argued that the wealth of a country is measured by the productivity of its people. True wealth comes from the freedom of individuals to pursue their own specializations and trade with one another freely. Specialization allows us to become masters of our craft, increasing the quality of everything we produce for our society. By focusing on what we do best and trading for the rest, we all end up with more than if we tried to do it all alone. This creates a massive web of global cooperation, where people who have never met are working together to serve each other. It is a testament to the power of human ingenuity when it is allowed to flourish within a system of fair and open exchange. We must also address the ethical dimension. Self-interest is not the same as selfishness. It is about self-reliance and dignity. When we work for ourselves, we are taking responsibility for our own lives and contributing something of value to others. This pursuit of personal excellence and reward is what gives life its flavor and society its momentum and strength. As we look to the future, the challenge remains: how to keep designing better structures that align our interests with the planet. When we make it profitable to be sustainable, self-interest will drive the greatest environmental transformation in history. The market is the bridge that turns the me into the we. It is the most powerful tool for human cooperation ever discovered. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into the heart of economics and human nature. I hope you found it enlightening. For more insights and discussions, please reach out. Name: Jong-Moon Ko or James Ko. Email: k903911198@gmail.com. We look forward to hearing from you. Stay connected with these topics: Adam Smith, self-interest, market economy, invisible hand, economic insight, and human nature. Search for the meaning of invisible hand, market economy principles, competition and innovation, and basic economic concepts. Remember, the depth of your thought determines the depth of your life. Keep thinking, keep questioning, and keep growing. Until next time, may you find wisdom in every transaction and insight in every interaction. Farewell for now.